Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Cory Timmer of the head girls basketball coach at Jenison High School. How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Doing well. So we are only about a month away from tryouts beginning, but I know it's I know the fall sports are kind of wrapping up, but I know all of you have been chomping at the bit, excited about this season.
Yeah, it's great to get in the gym with the girls. We go hard in the summer, and then volleyball kind of takes over a little bit. But we have 4-man workouts, open gyms in the fall, and it's fun to get back into the gym with the girls for sure.
Yeah. So just for people that might not know, just talk about last season and how it went for you, how it went for your team.
So last season was a tale of kind of two different parts. We play in the gauntlet of the OK Red conference. Somebody a couple months ago called it the SEC of basketball conferences. Yeah. So our non-conference schedule was tough. Our conference schedule, turns out we have 2 of the last 3 state championships in the OK Red. So but we enjoy the challenge. We love to play against the best teams. When we get outside of the OK Red, our girls kind of look around and go, "Oh, we're a pretty good Division I team." Yep, we are. We're just in the OK Red, and it is what it is. So, so our regular season was tough, and then our kids hung in there, and we started the districts. Everybody starts 0-0, and played a good and kind of young but up and coming Zeeland East team, and then Granville, who we've seen a few times, beat both of those to play Hudsonville in the finals. And Hudsonville had won, I think, 8 district titles in a row with basically the same district that we've been in for that long. So it was a close game in the district finals. I think we led by 2 at a quarter, they led by 2, and in the end we scored 1 more bucket than they did. So it was a really cool moment. Beating Hudsonville was huge for us. We have so many good friends and good people that we have, the kids have grown up playing with and against. And so I think that made it extra special too. And to do it the way that we did, just playing a good game. Hudsonville played a good game, but we had a good game plan. And so that was great. And then we went into the regionals against Rockford, who we'd lost to by 30, I think twice. I mean, they're loaded. And our game plan, thankfully, was similar to Hudsonville's. And so they didn't hit a 3-point shot the whole game, which is incredible for them because Rockford's got some great shooters. Again, we led, I think we were up by 4 at halftime. In the fourth quarter, we had a 3 that we missed that would have put us up by 1. So that was kind of validation of that. Hey, we belong here. We can play with this team. And so it was a fun way to end. It's got to end, and very few teams get a win at the end. But it was a good way to go out if you can't get that win at the end. So our kids persevered. They could have given up at any point because we did have a tough regular season. So that was a really cool way to end the season.
Absolutely. So now so kind of talk about just I know you kind of have an idea of what the team's going to kind of look like, but obviously you won't know fully until tryouts happen, but kind of talk about some of the returners that you have on your team this year.
Yeah, when you lose a kid like Taryn Maynard, who's playing at Hope, and I think she's going to contribute a bunch this year to a great Division III program, that's always hard to replace. I mean, any coach will take her any day. She's a great kid. And then the kids that worked their tails off around her were great. So we lost 5 seniors. We returned Selena Titus, played for us as a sophomore. She moved back into Jenison after being at Tri-Unity for a couple of years. And then Reese Stedman will be a sophomore, and she's returning again. She played with us last year. Rudy Maynard, Taryn's little sister, will be back again for her second year. So we'll be young. We've got some kids that have played, and our seniors have worked hard and are ready to step in. So it'll be a totally different style team, but it'll be different and fun. and we're excited. We've got a little bit of height, so so that's always nice to have too, because you can't teach that.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you mentioned the conference a little bit, but
Yeah.
anything you mentioned one of the toughest conferences in really just any sport,
Yeah.
the OK Red. The amount of talent that's in that conference, and of course, one of those teams ended up winning the state championship. Of course, I'm talking about Rockford. But overall, just talk about this conference and how hard is it to compete in?
It's hard, and yet we're thankful for it. We're thankful to be going up against the best all the time. It would be nice if we had a couple of teams at the bottom. I mean, that might give us a breather, but it's not fun to win by 30 either. So the kids learn how to be on, or the need to be on every time that we go out there. And I think that's what in the end prepares us for tournament play. I don't think we could have made the run we did if we hadn't been in the OK Conference and faced the competition day in and day out. Granville, Caledonia, and us, I think, were at the bottom of the league last year, and yet, they beat West Ottawa, who's got Gabby Reynolds, who's I'm sure going to be in the Miss Basketball voting this year, and we beat them and they beat us, and so even those bottom teams can beat anybody on a given night. So it's something that's hard, but it's something that we embrace, and it makes it all the sweeter when we get those wins, and then when we move into the tournament play, it prepares us for it for sure.
Yeah. So non-conference schedule. I know that a lot of coaches like to go out and schedule some really, really good teams. So who do we have on the non-conference slate this year?
So since they increased us by 2 games last year, we're still trying to kind of figure that out a little bit and see who's good for us to play. Our district, it actually looks different this year. Granville, Hudsonville, and us move over to Byron Center, Wyoming, and East Kentwood. So that'll be a little bit different. So that allowed us to play some other teams in non-conference games. We play Byron Center again, who only loses McKenna Ferguson. They've got Lily Zeenstra, who I think she signed or committed to Butler. So we'll see some good talent there. Play a Forest Hills Central team. Reese Puffers, always tough. We've got them on our schedule. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting warmed up and getting started with that that non-conference schedule for sure.
Yeah. Last thing I do want to ask you, obviously the basketball is going to look high school basketball might look a little different this year, especially at the when you are shooting fouls, of course, with the ruling this year. I haven't asked a coach this yet, but how is that going to be different this year, and just kind of maybe strategically planning out, how are you going to kind of approach that this year?
Yeah, I'm not sure that anybody has a great idea when you see how it impacted women's basketball at the college level. I mean, they have that too, and I've watched enough games that there are times teams get into the bonus. I think that they'll still call it the bonus when you can shoot 2. When they get into the bonus in quarters, and then there are times that they don't, even though it's down to 5 fouls before you're in the bonus. It's not a given that you're going to get that. Plus, college basketball's got 2 more minutes in a quarter than high school will. So we'll see how that plays out. College women also have the timeout rule, and when you make a basket at the end of the game. So, and we don't have that, which is okay. But I don't think we have a clear idea until we kind of get in it, what that's going to look like. So it's been interesting because in practice, that's always a big thing to shoot 1-on-1s, and the pressure at hitting that first one. And so that's gone now. So I think we'll shoot 2 at a time and and go from there. But otherwise, I think it's probably just a wait and see, and we'll learn as we go.
All right. Well, Cory, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us and to previewing the upcoming season, and best of luck this year. And we'll maybe have you on later on in the year.
Thanks. Awesome. Take care.